I've got something for you. I know this is your favorite.
It is indeed. Thank you. I'd like to take Mutt travelling with me again.
I see he came back on his own. Did you do something to him?
No?
You haven't been taking care of him.
I have. It just got very dangerous, and I didn't want anything to happen to him. So I sent him back here, where he'd be safe.
Ah. That was kind of you. Sorry.
Now I can take him again. Come here, Mutt.
Have you come to rescue me, Sir Knight?
What actually happened to you in Skalitz? I mean, during the attack and... well, you know.
That's a long story. Not a very cheerful one. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
I do.
All right, then. It was a day like any other. Another ordinary day in my ordinary life. I awoke at first light, before the others. I like those kind of mornings best. When the first rays of sunshine quickly drive away the nighttime cold. Hello, you. Come here. And the breeze carries the scent of dew-covered grass and the bloom of spring. I wanted to get my chores done before the rest of the household was up. And this morning seemed made for that very purpose. Right, better get to work. I have to feed the hens, weed the garden, feed Tinker. I'd better get it all done before Papa is up. That should do it. The garden is looking how it should again. I must bring Tinker a piece of meat. That'll be a nice treat. Here, chickie, chickie, chickie. Here. Here you are, girls. Fill your beaks. Good fella. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Teresa! Come here, would you? What's the matter with you today, girl? You're like a lost soul.
What do you need, Papa?
Go up and see the blacksmith. He made some nails for me. Here's some coin.
All right. Anything else while I'm at it?
No, unless you want to stop off at the market and buy some supplies. And before you go, wake Samuel. The boy's still lying in bed and won't stir. He ought to follow your example and Stebor's. You two don't have to be pushed to work. Well, at least he's still better than that good-for-nothing Zbyszek. The lazy wretch. A helper like that isn't worth a damn. If it weren't for his father, God rest his soul, I'd have thrown him out on his ear long ago.
Now, Father, you shouldn't be so hard on Zbyszek. You know he hasn't had an easy life.
And who has, girl? That's no excuse for laziness. You could tell him to get his ass to work, too.
Right, go for nails, send Samuel and Zbyszek to work. If it's at all possible.
Aye, just so. Oh, and Teresa, once you've done all your chores for the day, I've a little surprise for you.
Really? Now you've got me curious, Pa. I'll be on my way then. Sammy, get up. It's broad daylight and the birds are singing.
Yeah, I'm up.
Have a bite to eat before going to the mine.
All right, Ma. You don't have to treat me like a child. Looks like it'll be nice today, eh? I could go to the pond fishing.
But you have to go to work.
I know. But maybe I can slip off after lunch.
There'll be no slipping off. You know very well Nemoy has been complaining about you.
What about dropping that pail on Tonda's head? It was an accident.
Not the first accident you've had, though, was it?
Well, there you go, then. If I leave early, nothing'll happen to anyone. And you can cook the fish for lunch tomorrow.
You silly sod. All you ever do at the pond is lie around. The only thing you'll catch is more trouble from the mine master when he finds out. Well, if you're not a child, you can sort it out yourself with Nemoy.
Don't I always?
Greetings!
How's it going, Stebor? Do you need anything?
No, I'll just be hanging around the mill today, carrying sacks of flour and that. And in the afternoon, I'll go and check the fish trap. Then me and Pa have some matters to attend to in the evening.
What matters?
It's nothing to worry your pretty little head about, sister.
Oh, yeah. The Millers and their secret matters.
Aye, it's something like that.
Pa says you're idle, and if you carry on like that, he'll throw you out.
Ah! Why would he do that? Then he'd be left only with Stebor, and Stebor's not going to break his back working either.
Listen, Zbyszek. Pa's not happy with you, and if he says you're idling, you'd better make a bit of effort. I'm only telling you for your own good. You wouldn't want to lose your job now, would you?
You lot are always going on about work as if it was a blessing from heaven. All right. I'll get to work. Anything for a bit of peace.
That's more like it. You'll see it doesn't hurt. Come along, free.
How would you know when you can only listen to what you're told like a sheep? God be
It's
with
enough
you,
for
Teresa.
ordinary people to listen, and they're fine. But you and your ilk make only trouble. Someone ought to put paid to you, and we'd have peace at last.
Like I say, you're like a wretched sheep that will go where it's told, even to the slaughter. And of God and the world you know nothing.
When has reading ever filled anyone's belly, eh? I feed a whole family with these two hands, while yours are only good for pulling your own cock. Tell me, what use is there in this day and age for such a
what?
Such a know-it-all. All you're good for is sitting in a tavern with other know-it-alls, bemoaning your station. But devil a thing do you do about it. You can't do an honest job. You're of no use to life. Too delicate to stand the smell of manure.
While the likes of you sleep in it. And I studied so I wouldn't have to do such menial labour as you. You...
What?
You shit grubber!
Better to have shit in a stable than in your head. Those books of yours are of no use in the real world of ordinary people.
And indeed they have no place there. The only use you have for paper is to wipe your arse. Books belong in the hands of your betters. Only a pitchfork belongs in yours.
You lazy wretch. You're full of talk, and yet you haven't 2 groschen to rub together.
You should talk. All you have is what falls from your master's table.
Ha! Look at you, thin as a rake from never having a decent meal, and still bloated from nothing but pride.
At least I can read and write and think for myself.
But what use is that to you? To sit bare-assed in the cold and read?
You pile of manure. Should I muck out stables like you? Is that what you call an honourable profession? Even the horses are more fragrant than you.
Honest work doesn't stink, you good-for-nothing.
Perhaps not, but you stink to high heaven. And tell me, what can a peasant like you know of God?
I know what the priest told me, and what do you know?
And what if the priest lies? What if the scriptures say something different? How would you know when you can only listen to what you're told like a sheep?
It's enough for ordinary people to listen, and they're fine. But you and your ilk make only trouble. Someone ought to put paid to you, and we'd have peace at last.
What are you two quarrelling about here, for the love of God?
This pipsqueak here claims studying is as hard a job as working in the stables.
I most certainly did not, because study is of course much harder work than mucking out a bit of horse manure.
See? That's what I'm talking about, and yet it's as clear as day.
Hang on, what's as clear as day?
That study is as hard as mucking out stables, if not harder.
A man who doesn't work with his hands is an idler, and a good for nothing. Am I wrong?
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions before answering. You're a scholar. What are you doing in Skalitz?
I'm on my way to Sasau with letters. This ingrate here is stabling my horse overnight before I continue my journey.
What does your work involve, student?
I'm no student, but a baccalaureus, having completed the trivium of the Faculty of Liberal Arts in the University of Prague. Grammar, rhetoric, and dialectics are my work, while this yokel wouldn't be capable even of learning Latin. Father arranged that I will serve as a teacher in Kuttenberg for 2 years before returning to the university to attend the quadrivium. To teach and be taught, that is real work.
You serve Sir Radzig at the castle, don't you, Master Groom?
Aye, and Sir Radzig is very pleased with my work. I can be rightly proud of what I do, and I bring home a nice wage too. The children are fed, and the wife can buy herself a nice scarf from time to time. I'm satisfied with my lot. How many people can say that?
What's so hard about your job, Master Groom?
That's real work. Not like this parasite here does. On my feet from dawn till dusk, feeding, mucking out, grooming. By evening, I'm dead on my feet. I'm doing something real, see? Something that makes sense. Horses are needed for work, for the lords, for riding out, even in times of war. And someone has to care for those horses. All this good-for-nothing can do is mouth off. But he'd never be able to do a real job.
That's all I need to know. The groom is right. Study is certainly a noble thing, but it isn't really work. That's obvious.
I might have known an ignorant village wench would take the side of a dung grubber. Pah!
Don't pay any attention to that beggar, lass. I'm glad we both see things the same way. A burst lip is what he needs to put a stop to his stuck-up nonsense.
Oh my, what am I going to do?
Johanka, what's up?
I was asking around for you. There's something we have to talk about. Are you going to the dance this evening?
I'd like to go and have a look, if I have time for it. Why? Do you want to borrow my dress?
No, nothing like that. I've got a dress, but I don't want to end up dancing on my own, if you know what I mean.
You want me to find you a dancing partner?
No, not quite. I've already picked one.
Let me guess. Matthias?
I? Who else?
So, what's the problem? Just go and tell him. You've had your eye on him since the Harvest Festival. Surely you must have noticed by now.
He hasn't. I'm at a loss what to do.
Can't you just go and invite him straight out?
You must be joking. What if he doesn't like me? What if he's more interested in... No, not a chance.
So you'd like Matthias to take you to the dance, but you don't want to tell him?
That's right.
How in heaven's name do you want to do it then?
Easy. You're going to steal his lucky dice.
What? How is that supposed to help, for Christ's sake?
If you can get your hands on it without him noticing, he'll be looking everywhere for it. He'll be wandering around saying to himself, "Where did I put that damned dice?" And then I'll turn up. "God be with you, Matthias. You didn't by any chance lose your dice?" And he'll say,
"Aye, Johanka, I did. Where on earth did you find it?"
"Oh, I found it near the tavern. You know there's going to be a dance there this evening." And then he'll finally get the message.
"Oh, the dance. Yes. Johanka, wouldn't you like to go with me?"
"Of course. I'd love to go with you, Matthias. Thank you for asking." Then he'll take me by the hand, and he'll look... Never mind that. Well, that's how it's going to help. More or less.
You painted a very pretty picture, no doubt. But do you think it'll really work?
I'm absolutely sure it will.
Why don't you just steal the dice yourself?
And if he caught me doing it? You think he'd go dancing with me then? Except maybe to the bailiff. But you... Well, you're a miller's daughter and... Well, you know what they say.
Right. We're all a pack of thieves. I might have known. All right, then. I'll help you.
Thank you, Tess. Bring the dice to me as soon as you have it.
Hang on, though. How am I supposed to find it?
He was saying at the tavern yesterday that he keeps it in his trunk when he's not going to play. Go and see Fritz first. I heard he's always got some lockpicks, whatever he wants them for. Anyway, no doubt he can show you how to use one.
Me? Pick locks? Johanka, aren't you going a bit too far?
Well, then maybe you can get hold of his key somehow. But whatever you do, don't get caught. And not a word to Matthias, for the love of God.
How are you, Teresa? How are you?
What's new, Fritz?
I don't know. Oh, actually, I do know. There's going to be a dance this evening. Are you going?
Maybe. I've got a lot to do still.
They say it's going to carry on tomorrow too. And they'll be roasting a pig. Can't miss that.
So I heard. I wonder how come Sir Radzig allowed it.
No, it wasn't his lordship's idea. It was Master Faithfar's.
Master Tobias? Why would he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to show off his wealth. I'd have roast pig and dancing every evening if I had his coin.
Listen, Fritz, I hear you know something about opening locks without a key.
Sure. All you have to do is charge at the door, shoulder first.
I don't want to break down a door. I want to pick a lock.
Ah, you want a lockpick then?
Shh, not so loud.
Well, I can give you some. But you know what they say. Not even a pig grunts for free.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Who says that?
Mostly me. And everyone thinks it's fucking clever, so bugger off.
Hey, Fritz, how about giving me a couple of lockpicks for free, eh? After all, we've known each other since we were little.
All right, but just this time. If you break them, don't expect to get more for free.
Just two?
You said a couple, didn't you?
Will you teach me how to pick a lock?
Sure. For a few groschen.
What do you say to this?
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal. It's easy as fuck, unless you're all thumbs. Listen, you've got to find a spot where the lock catches and press on it. And only then can you turn it. Nice and light, though. No jerky movements. Like when you're caressing a girl's... that is,
I get it. Thanks.
Good day, Teresa.
Herbs for your kitchen, as well as health-giving decoctions.
How are you?
Who are you? Hey!
Healing herbs, ointments, all freshly prepared.
Good health to you, Teresa.
Sore knees, backache, bellyache, whatever the ailment, I've got the remedy.
Hey!
Someone there?
What in the...
You want something from me? Huh?
Hey!
Come right up, good people. Herbs for your kitchen, as well as health-giving.
What? Teresa? What are you playing in? God save you, Tess.
Healing herbs, ointments, all freshly prepared.
God be with you.
Listen, Matthias. Fritz and Matthew have been looking for you. It seemed very important. You should hurry.
Really? That's funny. I can't imagine what it's about, but if it's as urgent as you think, I'd better go and see what's up.
What's that?
healing herbs, ointments, all freshly prepared. Whatever the ailment, I've got the remedy.
Good morning.
About Matthias.
Yes? Tell me everything.
I've brought you his dice.
I knew you'd do it. Thanks. This is great. I'll bring it to him. Keep your fingers crossed for me.
As well as health-giving decoctions. Herbs, fresh and dried. They'll help with every pain and ailment.
God be with you, Matthias. Listen, I found this dice. I believe it's yours.
My dice? But how? I thought it was in my trunk.
No, I found it outside. It was lying on the ground by the tavern, where the dance is going to be this evening.
That's odd. I could have sworn I put it away. Can I have it back?
People will be dancing all around there. They'd trample it into the ground for sure. It's a good thing I spotted it. Although, I don't suppose I'll be dancing this evening. No one's asked me.
I see. The dice? Please?
I'd put on a very pretty dress. And after the dance, I'd walk home with the boy who danced with me, if anyone asked me.
I'll take you, all right? And you'll give me my dice back.
Really? You'd take me?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. I'll see you this evening.
Right. Sure. Wait!
God save
what about my
Teresa.
Dice? Oh, for the love of God. Teresa? What are you playing at?
How are you?